So it is currently November 14th, 2023, 5:31 p.m. Item number 1 of the Prescott BIA Board of Management agenda is called to order. May I have a mover? And a seconder? Thank you. Item number 2, approval of the agenda. Recommendation that the agenda be accepted as presented. May I have a mover and a seconder? Thank you. Item 3, declarations of interest. Item number 4, delegations or presentations. I don't think we have those this evening. Item 5, minutes of the previous meeting. Recommendation that the minutes dated October 10th, 2023 be accepted as presented. Mover, seconder. Thank you. Item number 6, financial report.
So there's nothing quite new from the recent one. The only thing is the allocation to the streetscaping fund, which is 15,000, which leaves our remaining balance to 16,013. That's it.
Thank you, Nicole. Any questions? May I have a mover and a seconder? Thank you. Item 7, committee reports, Marketing and Promotions Committee and Placemaking Committee.
So we deferred those meetings in the past month in favor of the Christmas meetings. So I will cover the Christmas planning in the agenda item. We did have a substantial amount of that this month.
Item number 8. Really just highlighting the holiday mixer that's coming up. So it's a joint venture that's happening at a new local business, Renegades, on November the 28th. We'd originally looked at the 23rd, so now it's the 28th. It's going to be from 5 till 8. It is a joint venture between the South Grenville Chamber of Commerce, the North Grenville Chamber of Commerce, the BIA, the Town of Prescott, and Grenville Community Future Development Corporation. So we're really excited about it. We do have a band, which is really just a string. It's not a quartet, it's only 3, but they've got a cello and a violin. So we think that's just going to add to the ambiance of the facility. And it's free to come, and we'll have nibblies, and it's a cash bar. So we're really excited about it. Really, it's just about collaboration, and we wanted something that wasn't a business after 5, but really just a community thank you. So just make sure you RSVP, because it'd be great if everyone could come. Awesome. Any questions?
Everyone should have received the invitation in your email today from the Invest Prescott newsletter. Listing.
And moving forward, we're looking at moving it back and forth between South Grenville and North Grenville, just to kind of keep it going and keep it a more collaborative event so that everyone can be involved. Item number 9, staff updates.
So I'm going to kick that off with just a little journey through the Halloween events. Which I had kind of forgotten how many there were until I started putting this together here today, but did quite a lot related to Halloween. So the first up was our first Haunting in Downtown Prescott event, which we had at Katarina's. So we had a group, Astro Light Paranormal from Central, came into town thanks to Sherry from Old Magic putting us in touch with them. And they are, I guess you could say, fairly serious paranormal investigators. They're very interesting. They bring all the gear in. So about a week before the event, on a Sunday evening, they came to Katarina's and did an investigation with their equipment. And then on the 17th, that was the 17th, October 17th, I believe, we had the event. I don't recall now, but it was well attended. We had, I believe, 15 people came to the event. They did a presentation about what they had found in Catarinas, and people had a lot of questions at the end. We're trying to line up some additional dates, so this can be more of an ongoing event throughout downtown. Talking to a couple property owners to get it lined up so they can do investigations in there and do some more events. Some people are sometimes a little concerned about whether what ghosts might be uncovered with the investigation, but we're working on some additional spots, and I think we'll probably look at possibly doing the museum to have a little event down there in January. Second, we had the Halloween window decorating contest. So it was, I believe we've done this for at least the last 3 years, had a contest associated with it. And this was the closest public voting we've had so far. So Old Magic Shop won the grand prize again this year with their Scarecrow pumpkin head themed window. Second place was Laurel and Lace, and third place was Property Guys. So the grand prize was $250 to go towards digital advertising. Second place was $150, and third place was $100. So those prizes are being distributed, and I believe we ended up having 12 or 13 participating windows throughout the downtown, and close to 200 votes from the public going through there. So it was good engagement. People, I think, enjoyed that, and all three businesses were pretty excited from their placing. Next up, we had the Halloween market on October 28th. So we had a special farmers market. It was a really nice day, a really warm day. Lots of costumes were worn. Jeannie was, what was?
Gandalf.
Gandalf the Grant.
Great.
Great. We had a little selfie station set up there. We had to move it behind the glass because it was windy that day, but it was spooky, I believe. And we had the curling club down as well they brought in their new street curling, which they were able to purchase thanks to a recreation grant from the town of Prescott, community grant from the town of Prescott. So they were down with their new street curling setup that they'll be able to bring to more events to try to increase their membership. And it was a good day. I think we had 13 vendors down there. It was well attended, and I believe that was the world premiere of One to Another, the band. So that was a good day all around. And then on the 1st, the annual pumpkin parade was held down throughout Riverwalk Park in the marina area, and we set up a small farmers market there that night as well. Cajon and the Hollow Bodies were the entertainment up on stage. There were 563 jack-o'-lanterns set up throughout the park, I believe the final tally was, and a number of people through the market that evening. It was much colder than the 28th was, but it was another good night that was well attended and beautiful out in a different way. So that sort of concludes the Halloween portion. I don't know if anyone had any questions or anything about that.
No questions, but I did get to go out to some of the things and they were great. And I love that pumpkin parade. It's so awesome.
The pumpkin parade is very fun.
Yeah.
We'll just jump forward to the next item, the Small Business Week wrap up. So economic development, we held a small business situation room, we called it, at the Elaine Chartrand Community Center. And what we did was got together a group of participating organizations and experts to set up and to be able to answer questions that businesses had about available services or specific questions about business-related information. So we had a really good lineup, I think, there that evening. We had our own setups through economic development and the BIA and Digital Main Street. Leeds Grenville Small Business, the SBAC was there along with Grenville CFDC. We had a group from BMO. South Grenville Chamber was in attendance. We were able to have financial advisors who deal with businesses come in and set up. And we had insurance expertise from Irving H. Miller. So it was a good evening. I believe we ended up having about 35 people through that night. Sort of shifted focus during the event, but it was a good evening. A lot of networking, a lot of people being able to talk to folks. So that was a good night. And then on the 26th, Leeds Grenville SBAC held their Bridges to Better Business 2023 here in Prescott Town Hall. The keynote speaker was Councillor Lockett and Lisa Lockett, speaking about community and community involvement by businesses. They also presented a series of awards, and Councillor Young gave a bit of a thank you at the end of the proceedings. I believe they had around 50 in attendance, and it was another well-attended good evening. It was catered by Little Barcelona. If anyone has any questions about Small Business Week? No. So the next item would be the downtown spaces and pop-up survey results. Dana, do you want me to go through those?
Yeah.
So we completed a downtown public space.
Oh, no.
I just disconnected somehow, but it's still plugged in.
There we go.
There we are. So we had a public survey about the downtown public spaces along with the pop-ups. So these were things like the promenade, farmers market, the patios, and the pop-ups this summer, because we wanted feedback from both residents, visitors, and business owners about those installations over the course of the summer. So this is just a highlights, high-level trip through that. We had a large number of questions and got quite a bit of data through that, which people were very positive about the events that went on this summer. So I'll just take you through some of those. So we had 268 respondents, 75% of which were residents, 16% said they were visitors, and 13% business owners. People could identify as more than one, so they could be a resident who was a business owner or a visitor who was a business owner. And when looking at the visitors, we found that there were quite a few that traveled farther than 15 kilometers here, which I also think was interesting because the way we disseminated this survey meant that those people who came here and they visited, they became engaged with what we were putting out, and they saw the survey and wanted to take part. And we also, through the business owners, 62% of those business owners that replied were based downtown. So on the Prescott pop-ups, 99% of the people who completed the survey, they were aware of the pop-ups. 85% of those people visited the pop-ups, and 62% of those people would like to see the pop-ups expand in 2024, which was a theme across sectors. So whether you were a business, a visitor, or a resident, you were identifying the idea of expanding those pop-ups in 2024. And then we looked at what drew you down there. And for vendors, the food trucks were the biggest draw, artisans and crafters, followed by retailers and new goods. And for events, Poutine Feast was the biggest draw, with the Canine Water Sports in second, and grand opening in third. And people were hearing about the pop-ups through social media. We did do quite a bit of social media marketing this summer, as well as something that we could see anecdotally, and that's that people were seeing it when they were passing by. They were driving down Highway 2, they were seeing it and pulling off the road to come check it out. As I said, sort of running through regardless of how you identify it in the survey, was the idea that people were visiting the pop-ups this summer in large numbers, and that they liked what they saw. They wanted to see that expand in following years. And then we also did a separate vendor survey just to the pop-up vendors, where we asked them some questions about their experience. 91% of those said that the foot traffic helped create sales opportunities for their business above and beyond what they expected. 82% said just participating in the pop-ups helped them improve their business, and then 100% said they wanted to see it expand in 2024. Now on to the promenade. This was the first full year of the promenade installation, or the weekend promenade installation. In 2022, we had the long weekend installations. But again, it was something that had a high amount of awareness. 96% of respondents had seen the pop-ups or the promenade, and 74% had visited it. And an important question, because one of the reasons that the promenade was pursued was the idea that it created a connection between two spaces that sort of got disjointed, which was the waterfront and the downtown core. And 81% of the people who were aware of the promenade said that they believed that it did create a greater connection between the downtown and the waterfront. Another interesting thing is, Eagle said that 85% of the people said that when they visited the promenade, they then went into the rest of downtown Prescott while they were there. And visitors, responding to the question that installations like the Riverwalk Promenade made Prescott a more appealing place to visit. 89% of visitors agreed or strongly agreed with that. For businesses, we wanted to look at how the promenade was affecting businesses downtown, both positively and potentially negatively. So we looked at the idea, does something like the promenade make it a more appealing place to do business? For which 59% of businesses said they agreed or strongly agreed. 44% said the promenade had been mentioned by customers who were visiting, and 21% said it increased traffic to business. And when asked about whether the promenade was an inconvenience for their customers or their business operations, 81% said no to the first and 87% said no to the second. And we asked some questions about moving forward into 2024 with the promenade. So we asked folks, what would you like to see happen in 2024? And only 8% said that they would not want to see the promenade installed again. It had sort of an even split between people who wanted to see it continued on the weekends and those that wanted to see it continued all season long, as well as looked at how people were required to adjust to travel around it. Those that said that they did have to make an adjustment to travel around it, and see a total of 95% of people said that they were willing to make that adjustment for the promenade installation, with a sort of even split between whether that be for 7 days a week or for those weekends only. And we did have a 56% in support of the promenade being open 7 days a week in 2024, but we're likely going to look at doing it for the weekend installation again rather than that, because it's a very even split between people that wanted to see it continue on the weekend versus all week long. On the farmers market, again, this was the first year that the farmers market was down at the promenade full time. So we were asking people about how they liked that location. 82% of people knew that it had relocated, and 64% said they had visited it. People seem to be finding it easy to find and convenient to visit. A small majority more appealing at the promenade. And again, we asked about the vendor mix, which we did have a much, I think, more robust mix this year and a larger number of vendors, but we still have a ways to go, I think, in sort of making it more well-rounded, get more vendors in there, but people, 49% said that it did feature a well-rounded selection of vendor. And we also had a specific farmers market vendor survey where we asked them a series of questions about the market this year. 91% rated their experience as very good or excellent, 100% plan to return in 2024, 100% preferred the promenade location to other options, and 86% experienced similar or better sales at the market this year versus other markets. On the street patios, so again, there was a high degree of awareness on the street patios and a fairly high degree of both usage and seeing other folks using the street patios during the summer, which I think is important because it identifies that when people were out, they were seeing people on those patios. We asked people where they used or observed usage for those patios. The most popular was the clock tower patio by far. But there was a usage on both of the other two patios throughout the seasons. And as well as the most popular time, people were seeing people there more towards the lunch hour and into the afternoon and the weekends and weekdays. We also asked a series of feelings questions about the street patios. So we're a good addition to the downtown. 83% of the general respondents and 60% of businesses felt that they were strongly agreed that they were a good addition to the downtown. Interesting one was 78% of respondents said that they did make them more likely to get takeout, and 86% said more likely to spend additional time downtown. And we asked people, were they interested in seeing more street patios installed in 2024? And 29% said yes, and 34% said maybe. And that is actually the conclusion of the stats portion. So there will be a more complete outline of all the questions that were in there. But this was a trip through the highlights of the public survey, and if anyone have any questions? This juncture.
No questions? To the next.
Next up would be the downtown, I guess, the business and development updates.
So we've had some exciting recent openings. The picture you see there is from the First Choice 25th anniversary that we celebrated in October, along with Seaway Valley, the Valley Pharmacy held a customer appreciation day. They put a big barbecue on for the public. A lot of people were able to come down and take advantage of that. And then we were at Glitz Spa for a customer appreciation day on October 24th, which was another great day. It's come a long way, that development. They've got a great collection of vendors providing a variety of services and ever growing, ever changing. So something that's a unique business concept for the downtown. And then we had welcoming the new owner of Canadian Tire, Randy Gadd. That took place on October 26th. And that was a great day. The owner he's really looking forward to getting involved with the community, supporting things like public skating. He's come on board and advertising for the new arena. They donated over $700 worth of items for the Riverwalk Wonderland event, which was greatly appreciated. But they've always been a good community partner, and Randy's he wants to make that a real priority. It hasn't always happened with every owner in the past, so he really wants to be that person to really solidify that relationship with the town. So we're looking forward to future endeavors in partnership with Canadian Tire. And then we held the groundbreaking ceremony for our new water tower, which is located on the site of the new Elaine Chartrand Community Center and Seymour Recreation Complex. So that's at 900 Sophia Street, and we held that on November 3rd. And that's, from a business perspective, it may not sound exciting, but it really is, because it means more capacity for future development, future businesses, and future residential growth. So it's a great win for Prescott, and we're able to tap into some much appreciated funding to offset that cost and be able to move forward with it. And then pending, very exciting grand opening for Cozy Closet, which is happening on November 18th, which is this Saturday. That's located at 294 King Street West. Takes place at 12:30 p.m. And it will be a new clothing and home decor store. So another retail boutique addition to the downtown, which is very exciting. Something that's certainly on our target attraction list. And then we have some other updates coming in December, but we've got a few weeks, so we'll hold off until the next meeting to update the group on those. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dana and Justin. Any questions? Okay, on to item number 10. First off, the multi-organizational Christmas mixer. So our intention for this mixer, as I mentioned, is that it's going to be, or did one of you guys want to take this on, or do you want me to talk?
I can, or.
Okay, off you go.
You want? Well, as Glenda mentioned, it's a collaboration between the Chamber, the CFDC, the Economic Development and Tourism Department, and the BIA, in addition to the North Grenville Chamber. Wanted to have a Christmassy networking event that was less like the business chamber. Wanted to have one that was less like the business after fives, but provided people a networking opportunity as well as a bit of a celebration. So it will be held at Renegades on November 28th from 5 to 8. Free entry and appetizer with live entertainment and a cash bar. And so the different organizations are making a contribution towards the costs associated with this. And there's a request for the BIA to provide $300 from their budget to help support this event. So that will help cover the costs associated with the venue and the music and the food, and is in line with the contributions that are being made by the other organizations involved.
Nicole, your thoughts?
I think it's a good way to get all of the businesses together. And I mean, if it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger, then I think we should make an allocation to that personally, because I think it would grow into more networking opportunities for everyone.
Thank you. Charity?
I think it's a good opportunity as well, and I think just like some of us are out asking for the businesses for support for our projects, we need to then support each other with all the projects. So therefore, I am in support of allocating money to this.
I agree. I think we should donate the $300. It is a good way for other business owners and workers to get to know each other for what they can. Networking, I think it's a great idea.
Tracy?
I agree too. I think it'd be really nice to get as many BIA members as possible, because a lot of our service members don't always have the opportunity to mix with the retail. So it would be, I'm not sure how we could maybe get that message out.
So we've sent a newsletter directly to all businesses
Yeah.
today. And we'll be promoting it through social media too over the next little bit, but certainly welcome any other ideas for promotion.
Yeah, it just would be so nice to, because there's lots of businesses that I don't get to see, right? Because everybody's working all day and.
Yeah, we're kind of working the same hours.
Yeah.
The Tuesday night probably makes it ideal to have more people be able to be there.
Yeah, for sure. I think, and even a Tuesday night's good too.
Bonnie?
I love the collaboration. I think it's wonderful. I think it shows the hard work that has been done over the last, especially the last year, on collaborating and solidifying community and strong support. So I'm in.
Okay, recommendation that the BIA contribute $300 from the marketing and promotion budget as a partner for the collaborative holiday business mixer to be held in downtown Prescott. May I have a mover and a seconder? All in favor? Okay. Next item, holiday downtown foliage proposal.
So,
Well, do you want me to, I can give a little bit of a background. Unfortunately, we didn't receive the proposal in time for the meeting. So there was we were contacted by a vendor in Edwardsburg Cardinal that has a business that does floral design, bouquets, arrangements, everything from wreaths to ground planters. And she had expressed interest in bringing some ideas forward for some of the downtown businesses, liked what she was seeing in the downtown. So we thought maybe it would be a good opportunity. This would be a good forum to maybe bring that opportunity forth to the group. And then if there was interest, maybe it could be something that could be communicated on to the greater business community. Unfortunately, we didn't receive the follow-up. I'd asked her to provide some images of, kind of different items that she was proposing, potential pricing for the benefit of the board, and we just didn't receive it in time for the meeting. So, maybe if we do receive it in the next couple of weeks, it's something that we could bring forward to the next meeting, but that's pretty tight. So, it's something that from time to time we'll just get, have a potential business or an interested vendor reach out to us. So we always feel it's best to just bring that forward for the board, and then it's up to you whether you see it as a viable opportunity to pursue.
Okay, thank you.
So first, can I just say something? First of all, I think it's exciting that other townships are, wanting to do things in Prescott. So kudos to everybody here. My only small concern is we have somebody locally, I think, that would do the similar thing. Of course, I haven't seen the display, the proposal, but do we have a local business that could do, does it match a local business? Because I'd be nervous going outside our area, especially out of BIA, if we have a local business that can give the same product.
And we were not endorsing this.
No,
in
yeah.
any form. It was essentially, we would have been expressing if that proposal had been received.
And we can't see it, right?
We would have been recommending to the board that you consider maybe putting an RFP out. And then that would open it up to all businesses in the area that may not have considered this as a viable option for their business. So that was kind of where we were going to go with the recommendation, because totally on the same page as you, Bonnie. It's, especially when we have local businesses that could potentially provide a similar service. I think it is important to put the opportunity out there. Not to say that, that's on anyone who wants to approach the town with an opportunity for, any business could do that if they wanted to take that initiative. So.
And it is exciting that, obviously we are getting some traction that other people want to engage in our town, which is lovely. I think it's a positive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, item C, Riverwalk Wonderland Planning.
Riverwalk Wonderland Planning. So as I mentioned earlier, we deferred all the committee meetings in October for Christmas working group meetings. So I believe we're at 3 now. There was 3 meetings we've had, 3 or 4 even, as part of the planning process. And I think it's really starting to come together there now. So Riverwalk Wonderland will be held December 1st to 3rd. The Town of Prescott's tree lighting will be there on the evening of the 1st from 5 to 8 with a new live Christmas tree. It will be lit on site, decorated and lit. Have a number of, I guess you could call them installations going in there, decorations throughout the weekend, lit decorations. All of the sheds will be decorated for Christmas, and they'll be filled with activities and vendors throughout the weekend, with the addition of other tent vendors around the area, especially on the Saturday and the Sunday. There will be wagon rides during the time period. We'll have carolers down for portions of it. We have two, I believe three actually make and take craft activities lined up now. I'm trying to add some more in there. There'll be live Christmas trees for sale on site, so if you don't have your Christmas tree yet, you can come down and get your Christmas tree there. And there will be visits with Santa all weekend long. So we've started reaching out to local businesses looking for sponsorships for the event, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank a number of them, like BUBU, who has Quality Creations, who has done a donation, Irving H. Miller, who has Kevin Spencer and Associates, who's the chamber president. Kevin has made a donation. We've had a number of donations of festive decorations from businesses, including Losway Law Office in downtown Prescott, and a large Santa level donation of new fixtures from Canadian Tire Prescott. So we're on our way there, but if you know of anyone who would be interested in sponsoring a portion of this event, obviously send them our way. We have the sheets for people to take and fill out there tonight and everything. But on the note of the sponsorship, as the VA has been working towards this, and as it's going to be something that really impacts the downtown that weekend, the wagon rides will go throughout the downtown. We'll also probably tonight be confirming some elfing for the time period down to the downtown, as well as Santa perhaps making a couple stops down there. But we're thinking that the BIA could make perhaps a Santa level sponsorship, which would include on-site recognition as well as print and social media recognition. So allocate BIA funds towards that sponsorship to be a full sponsor of the event. That would be a $500 contribution from the BIA to the Riverwalk Wonderland event.
Bonnie, thoughts?
I say let's do it. Absolutely, hands down.
Tracy? Jeannie?
Definitely.
Everybody's nodding.
Thinking the same.
Did I guess in addition to that, and anybody have any Riverwalk Wonderland questions, or I guess we covered all those in our Riverwalk Wonderland meetings.
Hey.
So we'll need a vote.
Yeah, recommendation that the BIA support the Riverwalk Wonderland seasonal installation as a Santa level sponsor in the amount of $500 from the marketing and promotion budget. Jeannie, all in favor? Okay. Okay, membership discussion.
So this is still, we'll have to, not use any names or anything when we're discussing this. This is more just like a general idea of how we wanted to proceed with this vacancy and vacancies in the future, and what people's thoughts were on that.
Tracy, do you have thoughts?
Maybe we could actually highlight what the available options are
Yes.
through the bylaw. There are some limitations in how the board approaches membership recruitment. And lots of flexibility too. So you certainly are, backed into one specific corner.
Okay.
So essentially, the bylaw lays out that if a board vacancy occurs, a member or representative of the member may be nominated by the board to fill the vacancy for an unexpired portion of the term. And then that nomination will be taken to council for approval. Outside of the,
I think there is another section that provides, I think there's 3 options, isn't there, that the board can actually
well, this is under vacancies.
engage in? Like they could do direct recruitment, like a targeted recruitment. You could hold a call for expressions of interest. Like there's some flexibilities in how you actually approach that recruitment. And I thought there was reference to a third one, but I could be
So under,
mistaken.
Is there a risk of quorum being affected?
Well, I think we are definitely, yes, I would say just to be a little bit more, we're seeing some concerns, not only with just vacant positions, but just some absenteeism that's happening. Not everyone can attend every meeting. We all have busy lives, right? So we're getting to that point where there's been a couple meetings where we've run very close to not having quorum. And we would hate to, get to the last minute, right? Because then that's an inconvenience for other members who have RSVP'd yes, and either we're canceling at the last minute. It's just not a good scenario. So
Does the bylaws allow you to do a Zoom option or a phone option? Because I know there was a couple meetings I couldn't attend
yeah,
because
and we could certainly
now Tuesday
provide
nights.
for that option. We have many times when it comes to council, sometimes if members are away, then they can participate via Zoom. So there's certainly, we can accommodate, absolutely. If someone wants to participate via phone, Zoom, certainly doable.
Okay.
And it's more just, that I think we've got some flexibility there. So we could have as many as 9 members, not including the 2 on council. So it's 11 total, but 9 public members.
Okay.
So it couldn't hurt, at least.
I think that it would be a great idea to get as many people
What is our current
as possible.
number?
Yeah, where are we
we
at?
currently have 8. So I mean, we really only have 1 actually open seat at the present moment.
But even to just get a general sense of what interest is out there too among the business community. Because I will say, in past experience, we're guaranteed to have another vacancy. As much as I know you're all looking at, I'm not, but it happens, right? Life happens. We watched the previous BIA go through multiple iterations of losing members, bringing new members on. It's bound to happen. And once we start getting down to 7, 6 members, that's when it starts to get and we're running the risk of canceling meetings.
So it may be proactive to always keep our 9.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of where we're headed, right? Because the minute you start, that's what happened in the last term.
Yeah.
We lost a member and then we thought, oh, we're fine. And then we lost 2 more. And then all of a sudden we didn't have quorum for meetings. So I think that's really what we're trying to get ahead of. And I think we've got a lot of new businesses that have opened in the downtown lately that could make some really good candidates. So it's really just a matter of, then you're not scrambling to go out and lay groundwork. And some of that groundwork could be laid now. And just get a sense of what type of interest is out there amongst the business community that hasn't participated on the BIA to date.
Would that be like a pool of potential interests? Or is it more just interest? So it's more like,
Envisioning is just that members would just go have some dialogue, right? Very casual, very informal at this point, just to get that sense of, so that when the time comes, if the board should choose that they want to appoint a new member to fill that vacant seat, you've got some potential candidates to throw out there. And that's where the members are really, that's a great way that you can, be active participants in the board, like that ongoing recruitment and just out there communicating the benefits of what we're doing out there to try and create some interest.
Why don't we invite them to the mixer on the 28th of November, anybody who's interested?
And yeah, and I would do that. I would almost, it's easy to always send an email. We've done social media posts. I think we all recognize it unless you go out and approach, face to face means a lot. Picking up a phone, even sending a text to a business owner that you know, saying, hey, you coming out to the mixer? Make sure you get out there. And those are just providing that subtle encouragement too. I think that will really, help keep that membership at a healthy level.
I think as well as that, like we're saying, life happens, things change. We've already quickly went through a year of being on board. I'm sure a lot of people, commitments have changed. Perhaps we open that up to the members, with a personal email or whatever, just making sure that your commitment is still available, has something changed, so that it's not a matter of you now haven't come and now you're off the board in a negative way. Allow everyone to open that communication like we're saying, and just say it, is that place there for you still?
Yeah.
And if not, that's okay.
Yes,
because then that allows us to then make
Open
these
the door
connections and
further.
open the door. So perhaps in the new year, that would be something we could do as well as in some sense, just touch base with
Yeah,
each
with
member
each other, yeah.
and just see if there are other potential vacancies, I guess is what I'm getting at. And then maybe drum up some more members, because I do think we should keep our force full, especially because there's so many great things going on, and if we're going to be involved in hands on deck, the more hands, the better, especially with the Christmas, and we're hoping it only gets bigger. So yeah, I think we should definitely be aware and keep it open and keep it in a positive thing, not a slap your wrist thing. Like,
No,
we all understand.
no,
We all
exactly,
understand.
exactly.
We're all busy. We're all just doing our best.
Yep.
And that's where I think it's much better if that can be a member to member thing, right? Like Justin or I don't want to reach out to members and, oh, we've missed you at the last few meetings. Whereas, a member can talk to another member and say, oh, hey, I missed you. What's going on? And, you've been just having that casual conversation, right? And because we don't ever want a member to feel like, oh, you haven't, that's not what we're doing. It's just about keeping that momentum. That's all it's about. And we've seen that this group lose momentum in the past. So yeah, just coming from that experience, good to keep it strong. It's close to our maximum numbers as we can at all times, because things change quickly and it tends to come in 2s and 3s. I don't know what it is with life, but.
When, like you were saying, when you have dialogue, sometimes it does open a door for someone to say, actually, this has been weighing on me, and maybe this is not the right fit for me right now because I have an aging parent, or blah, 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 work commitment has changed, or my business model has changed, or I'm actually thinking about shutting down shop, or it actually opens, not me personally, but it does open that opportunity where they may have been really afraid to say, I made a commitment and I can't fulfill it, but maybe we're saying, we miss you, what's going on, and saying, well, I just can't make it anymore. Maybe it's time for me to tap out, or is there another option, or how do we look at those options? Or we find out that, and I'm not sure, I think this is the perfect day, just me, he's got some weird things happening with us being open on Tuesday nights. But let's say, for example, if, the 4 people that are missing saying Tuesdays don't work for me, is that an option to bring it back? It may not be. I think Tuesday is the perfect time to do it. But at least you could look at that and say, we looked at this as a possibility, but it's not possible to change it to Monday because Monday is council or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like the idea of casual open. So maybe get them at the mixer, get them feeling, and it's hard after you've missed a couple of meetings to walk back in the room, right? It really is. The more you miss, the harder it is to show up, because they're like, oh, okay. Not that anybody in this room would do that, because it's very, it's very good people on this board. We're very lucky. But it is, when you start seeing someone not coming, if you don't catch it, they may not come back. They may just be simply uncomfortable or embarrassed.
And that's the thing too, you don't want a person to be sitting there in the wings feeling that when it's simple conversation between a fellow member. No, like, we want you back, get back to the table. It doesn't matter if you missed 3 meetings, we still want you, you know. So yeah, those are the things that,
Awesome.
yeah. So again, food for thought. I don't think the board necessarily needs to make a decision tonight, but maybe if there's an appetite that we do want to bring it forward for like part of closed session discussion at the next
Agreed.
meeting to have a more formal, fulsome discussion about what way we want to approach it and if we want to approach it in direct targeted recruitment,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
how to go about identifying those candidates.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, so upcoming committee meetings, the Christmas Planning Committee, which is coming up right after this, I
This
believe.
is very much upcoming.
Yes. Okay, so item 12, does anyone, Nicole, anything you want to go over?
I do have a random one.
Okay,
It might be a town question. It's about the lights. Someone asked me at the shop why we take down the lighthouse lights and then move it, like, why can't we just keep it all? Because it looks so pretty. And I said, I don't know. I'm not sure. So I wanted to know an answer. Is it because it's like, it doesn't go on that pole? Like, I want to be able to, I'm not sure. I said, I don't know.
They are, yeah, interchangeable. There's brackets for them. So there's only a certain number of
Okay.
brackets and they
Yeah.
actually do switch out.
Yeah.
And the lighthouses were really purchased to be that year-round kind of seasonal light. And the snowflakes are specific to Christmas.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, how much do I love hearing that people like the lighthouses and want them to be up all year.
Because it is, if you think about it, I was like, oh yeah, it is something that's it's not just summer, but it's Prescott. So they said,
It's
well, why can't we
Prescott,
have
yes.
it on each pole? I said, let me bring that. I don't know.
So we could, though, there is a possibility.
It's just gonna
of-
light it up more, right? There's nothing.
No, and we
Yeah.
could simply purchase more brackets. So again, it's not simply, I shouldn't say that. It needs to be, I need to go talk to operations department first. Make sure those poles can accommodate, because not every pole can accommodate a light too. That's the other issue, is not everyone has necessarily that outlet to plug into. So then we have to be very strategic. But yeah, we could certainly look at that if the BIA wants us to investigate the option of leaving the lighthouses up in addition to the snowflakes. That kind of what the thought is.
Or alternate. Or.
And then just
yeah.
put the snowflakes up on the poles that don't have lights. So then you would have like that alternating.
Yeah, so like snowflake lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
That's
I
what they
think
were
they
saying.
meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
not to take the snowflakes down, like
No,
to keep them
to
all
do
up.
both.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
because I mean, like, it looks very pretty. Why take it down? Like, if we can just add.
Add
I
the
said,
snowflakes to it.
I've never thought
for-
about that,
Yeah.
but that's
honestly,
a
I
good
never
question.
considered that. Yeah,
So yeah, just
it's an option for the board
Yeah.
to.
It's good that
Consider.
people love it so much. I
An
guess the
additional-
idea of expanding is
Yeah.
in
yeah.
people's minds, so that's good. And it's also great that people don't miss a beat, because that was just today.
No, oh, I know. Oh, yeah, no, they don't miss
I
a beat.
noticed too, I was watching them like, well done, looking good.
I watched them put it up to it. I never thought about, oh, they're taking it down. But then
Yeah.
when someone
Yeah,
asked me, I'm
that's
like,
not
oh,
the thing.
yeah.
At this point, they're interchangeable, but yeah, maybe we need to be looking at expanding.
So we could, if there's an appetite, maybe bring some additional information to the next meeting, what that potential cost might look like, if it's even an option.
Is that a recommendation or just a request?
I'd say at this point, it would just be like a request for more information probably from the board.
So all in favor of a request for more information? Okay,
Beautiful.
well, thank you. Bonnie,
Nothing.
Charity,
Not this.
Tracy?
I was hoping that not tonight, but in the future, we could look at associate memberships again.
Okay,
Because the reason I bring that up is because a couple of neighboring businesses that I approached for Riverwalk Wonderland were wondering what the return was for them, other than just the advertising. And I'm like, I think maybe that's something that we have talked about in the past, and it's something that we can pursue for maybe not only South Bradley businesses, but our businesses in the North End. they may want to be involved and what that looks like and what value we can add or give them.
I think, and thank you, but I think that's a really important piece to it. So, yeah, is what value, right? And I think it's a great idea. We've certainly discussed this through several terms of the BIA, the option of exploring associate memberships.
Okay, so I will start that so we don't lose sight of it. Jeannie?
We make that a formal agenda item for the next meeting, that discussion? That probably makes sense.
That'll be in January, right?
Yes, so we're gonna postpone our December
The
meeting.
next meeting would be the December 12th if we have the
Yes.
December one.
Yeah,
Okay, so maybe can we move it to January just because I'm afraid we might have a lot
on the go, yeah.
on the go with Christmas, so
Yeah.
earmark that for January. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Just I don't want to overload us for what's going on at Christmas.
Does that have to be a motion to change the meeting from?
Just change the adjournment, I would say, right?
And I don't think we're talking about changing the meeting, right?
No, we're not talking about changing the meeting, just adding it as an agenda item.
The January agenda, yeah.
Yeah.
We're still gonna have December.
Still having December
Still having
meeting,
December.
but just because it was such a packed agenda, I
Yeah.
think you were thinking that it
Yeah.
would be better off to defer it to January.
Got it.
And Jeannie?
I'm pretty well good. I kind of lost train of thought.
So just in terms of agenda meetings, the only thing I wanted to kind of add was maybe we need to, like, again, looking at January, getting back on track of the strat plan.
Yes, so I'll have to get together that group again.
Yeah. Just getting that moving again, because we had such great momentum and then we got really busy, so just to make sure we don't lose sight of that. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? Okay, Dana and Justin, thank you so much for all your hard work and input. We couldn't do this without you, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being open and communicating and bringing your thoughts and opinions in. So item 12, adjournment, recommendation that the meeting be adjourned to December 12th, 2023 at 5:30 PM. May I have a mover? Jeannie? Tracy?
Okay,
All in favor? Thank you so much.
do next or another meeting, so.